Last time out, we looked at the newly discovered cheats on Gran Turismo 4, and to date the video has had nearly 70,000 views. And you guys have also been very busy in the comments section. So in this follow-up video, I'm going to be answering some of the most popular questions and providing you with more information on these cheats. Okay, first up, several people asked whether you could use the cheats more than once, so let's find out. First up is the money cheat. I'll enter it once, which you'll have already seen in the first video, and then I tried entering it a second time. As you can see, it definitely does work, and we now have 20 million credits for free. There doesn't appear to be a limit on how many times you can use it, but I did it 3 times just to test it for this video, and ended up with 30 million credits of course. Okay, next I checked the license pass cheat. In the first video you saw me use it on the B license, which I did here again first of all. After that I used it to see if I could also pass the A license, and yes, that worked as well. So in theory you could use it on all the licenses. Next I checked the cheat to gold an individual license test. Again in the first video I checked the first test from the B license. Here I did the same again, then also attempted to gold the second test as well. And like the other cheats, it too worked. So yeah, it looks like you can just gold all the license tests you want. In fact, you can even use the cheat to get gold on all the coffee break mini games as well, even though they're not technically license tests. Lastly, I checked the event cheat, and yep, they work across multiple races. At first I checked 2 races within the same event, the good old Sunday Cup. As you can see, I was able to use the cheat to complete both these races without actually racing in them. Another question that you guys asked was whether you could still get prize cars. So we've seen some events already, but what about other events? Let's say maybe a race that's usually 24 hours long? Yes, you really can use the cheat to get a prize car from an endurance race that's intended to take all day and all night. What about championships as opposed to single races? Interestingly, what I found was that if you exit the championship then resume it again, you'll still get the gold trophy to say it's been completed, but you actually don't get awarded a prize car. However, if you pick the option that abandons the championship altogether, then the game does award you a prize car. Incidentally, it doesn't seem to matter whether you use the cheat to beat each individual race first, or whether you just complete the championship on its own. It seems to work either way. It's also worth mentioning that you still have to have an eligible car for the race you want to use the cheat on, because you need to pass the race entry screen to get to the place where you input the cheat. And how about license prize cars? Using the cheat to get gold on any license test that we saw earlier, it's possible to get gold on every test within a license, and then claim all the prize cars at once. One for bronze, one for silver, and one for gold. Also, people asked whether using cheats to complete races affects your completion percentage. So I had to check this one out too. I checked my stats, used the cheat to complete a race, then headed back to the home garage. And yes, the percentage had increased, only by a little because it's only one race, but it definitely does count. As a reminder, this doesn't work for driving missions because they were supposed to get their own code. but it wasn't implemented correctly, and it also gives you 10 million credits instead. Now the next question that you guys had was whether you still get the credits for completing a race or championship when using the cheat. And the answer is no, you don't. However, it doesn't really matter, as you can just use the cheat to give yourself 10 million credits if you're short of cash. The next question I wanted to answer was whether the cheats worked on different versions of the game. In my original video, I was showing the cheats being used on the North American version, and since then I've checked them on the European version too, which you can see here. So it looks like they work in multiple regions. Okay, I've saved the best thing for last. If anyone's already clicked off the video at this point, then you've missed the main event. So you might have heard of a game called Tourist Trophy. It was a spin-off from the Gran Turismo series which featured motorbikes rather than cars. The thing is, Tourist Trophy used the same engine as Gran Turismo 4. And you can see where this is going, right? Yes, the cheats were carried over from GT4 to Tourist Trophy. Well, at least some of them were. There are no credits to earn on this game, so that rules those cheats out. But there are license tests. If we use the cheat that passes an entire license, we can hear the same sound effect that signals the cheat has been entered. And if we move to another license, we can see that it now says I am a qualified novice rider, even though I haven't done any of the tests. Let's try the individual license cheat as well. As you can see here, this works too, so you could easily get all golds on Tourist Trophy's license tests using this cheat. The third cheat that also works on this game is the one that completes any race. I'm just going to use the cheat on each of these 3 races within this event and enter the last one. Upon exiting, I was rewarded with 3 bikes, so I guess you get 1 per race. So there we go guys, I hope you enjoyed this more in-depth look at Gran Turismo 4's recently discovered cheats. If you have any more questions, drop them in the comments, and if there are enough, I'll showcase them in another video. See you next time, and thanks for watching.